Alright, so this is my Losi Night Crawler, and I've got the Jeep body on it. Got a little roof rack here that eventually I'll get around to actually putting some little scale accessories on it. I modified it and added these little metal bars. Picked these up from Home Depot and just didn't really have to do a lot of cutting or anything, and then just you can kind of see how I attached them and screwed them in to the side. Whenever I make changes like this to my RCs, I really try to make it so that I can undo it and bring it back to stock as easily as possible. You can see that I still have the stock body post mounts for the crawler body. I just was never a big fan of it, and I was able to get that for a really good deal on Craigslist. I really like this body. It's the two-door version. Threw some stickers on there. Had some lighting. I need to go back and redo that. Another thing I do with all my bodies is put the bed liner, spray the inside of all my bodies after I paint them with the Lexan. I gave it a couple days to really set, and then I'll spray them all the insides with the bed liner. And here you'll actually see I masked off the fenders and also sprayed those with bed liner to give it more of a kind of scale look, realistic look. Same with the canopy top. So I think it came up pretty awesome. Used to look a lot better, pre-bashing, but hey, not having fun until it's getting scratched up. So onto the body. These are Proline body posts. I think they're actually made for the Slash 4x4. I believe that's what I bought them for. Ended up not really liking it. I initially had a project of making my Slash 4x4 monster truck. Then I ended up just buying a Summit and an Emax. So didn't really need these, and these work out perfect here to help hold up this body because it's a little strange and definitely not what the Losi was made for. This is the Losi Night Crawler. Like I said, one modification I made to it was adding the competition crawler suspension arms, and these are a huge benefit, and they really just changed the whole suspension geometry. Right now this is how I have it. It seems to work pretty good for most of what I do. I'm not a hardcore crawler person. I like to go on trails and stuff too, so it just kind of accomplishes all those. If I was really into crawling, I wouldn't have a big body like this with a high center of gravity. One upgrade I've done is I've added the Novak brushless crawler. This is the GOAT to it. Definitely a huge difference using brushless on a crawler. It is amazing, and definitely recommend it to everybody. These I'm not even sure what kind of tires these are. It's been so long. I believe they're Proline. Yeah, it looks like they are Proline. Trying to see. Can't even read what that says anymore. Let me see if I can even tell what this is. Well, they're awesome crawler tires. They really soft. The fronts have weights inside of them. I can't remember how many ounces, but they are. I did weigh down the front end. The rears they're just the way they came. There's no extra weight added to them. This is definitely like my dedicated crawler. I have an Axial SCX10. It's pretty capable with this thing. It can definitely hang with it when I have it set up as a crawler, but this one definitely outperforms it, but not by a large margin. But I really like these tires. They grip really well. I've never been a big fan of the battery right here in the middle. The one thing I did change with my Axial SCX10 is I brought the battery over the front axle, so it sits above there and has that extra weight. And that almost makes that one do better than this one sometimes, just because of the extra weight up front. But again, like I said, this does have the weighted front end, so it does do pretty good. Besides that, everything else is stock. I always run 2S lipos. These are some zippies I picked up. I've got a bunch of different brands. I always go with at least 5,000 milliamps. I've noticed that's just the best run time, and I'm not too particular. I just like to bash, and I just like to have my long run time. But other than that, really a big fan of the worm drive. Has that built-in like instant drag, so I do like that. It's definitely capable, as you're about to see. So that kind of sums it up for that. Again, this is the Losi Night Crawler, but with these, this is one of the big differences between this and the Losi Comp Crawler, is these arms. So I definitely recommend these. Not super expensive. I believe I got these off of A-Main Hobbies or Amazon. I get a lot of stuff off Amazon. So, but that's that. Oh, I did modify these are some I believe these are some Traxxas springs. I bought these springs at the hobby shop. They were a little stiffer than what came with this thing originally. The one thing I did notice with the Nightcrawler is that it always would flop in turns, so I bought stiffer springs. These were just sold as 2-packs at the hobby shop. I don't really remember anything much about them, other than they're fairly generic, but they work really well, and they help stiffen up, so I wouldn't keep rolling over in turns, but gives it just enough flex when it's crawling around. So that's that. Again, these are true